Today I have a different kind of review. It's not really a review, it's more of a tutorial. I've been getting a lot of requests to do packing videos, different brands, different bowls and everything, so I'm kind of just going to go all out on this. If you saw the table, you saw all the bowls and all the flavors, I'll go ahead and name them all for you just so you see what I got. I've got the apple on top Hookah bowl. I'm actually not going to be packing this one because I already have a packing video on this bowl. I have the Rook bowl by OG, what used to be OG. The HJ V2 Alien bowl. The Goodfella V3. The JJ Ceramics Predator bowl. Not really being made anymore, but there are still Predator bowls being made. The Brazilian Bambino bowl from 5 Star. The Liberty Fudge or FUHJ bowl. Another Goodfella V3, just for extra flavors. Harmony V1 with a chip in it, unfortunately, but still a fantastic bowl. Godfather V1 glass bowl, fantastic bowl, and you can't do a packing video and tutorial without the old school Egyptian style bowl. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and pack up a bunch of these different flavors, and then I'll actually show you how I pack them, and I'm gonna actually assemble them in a scale, because if you've been wandering around like hookah enthusiasts and Instagram and stuff like that, I'm sure you see people say, I packed it dense, I packed it semi-dense, I packed it fluffy, I packed it in between dense and semi-dense. So I'm actually gonna arrange these in a style from densest to fluffiest. So I'll be right back.
Don't stop. Now and then I think of all the times you screwed me over, but it made believing it was always something that I'd done. But I don't wanna live that way, reading into every word you say. You said that you could let it go, and I wouldn't catch you hung up on somebody that you used to know. But you didn't have to cut me off.
So as you guys saw, I have all the bowls packed up except for the one Goodfella V3 and the AOD, because I mean, I don't think I need to pack any more flavors. That's pretty much all the brands that I have except for Shisha Royale, which I've shown you how to pack. And the Godfather V1 is not packed yet, because I'm actually going to show you how I start packing all of these bowls, because they all start the exact same way. It just depends on what flavor I'm packing, on how far I dense it down. But before I get into that, I'll go ahead and show you all of the flavors I did and how I packed them. So first off is Tangier's Melon Blend, and it is in the Bambino bowl. Hopefully this focuses right, because if not, this is going to be really annoying. But as you can see, it's really dense. Tangier's, I usually pack the densest out of most brands. Occasionally I'll pack Morning Glory or like Dark Blend Trifecta. I'll pack it as dense as Tangier's, but normally it's next in line. Super dense. When I press on it, it'll actually move the other tobacco around. That's how dense it is. Next, Trifecta Morning Glory, Dark Blend. It is also a dark leaf, just like Tangier's is. And I'm not going to say that dark leaves usually get packed denser, because I can pack this fluffy and it still smokes just fine. This is how I like to pack my dark blends mainly. So as you can see, it's dense, but unless you actually saw me pack it, it's not quite as dense as the Tangier's is. There's still a little bit of fluff in there, but not much. Next is, oh, and that was in my Alien V2, by the way. Next is Kismet Black Apple. This is actually a German brand that my friend Javi sent me. Thanks again, by the way. I didn't have enough to actually put out a review of it, so hopefully this will shed a little bit of light on the Kismet. It's a blend of 4 different like black leaf blends or something like that. I don't know all the info on it, but I've smoked enough of it to know that I like it not necessarily Tangier's dense and not quite as dense as I like the dark blends. So I definitely fluffed it in there and I patted it down more than I would definitely say it's more than just a semi-dense, but it's not quite a super dense pack. Next is Hookah Blumpkin. Now, Hookah brand, it's one of the finest tobacco brands that I've ever had. The leaves are super finely chopped and everything, and honestly, I love that just because it's easy to pack, so much easier to pack than honestly every one of these brands, just because it doesn't really stick to your fingers as bad, and it just comes right off. I have it packed up in my JJ Ceramics bowl, and I actually patted it down, not quite as much as I would any of the previous three, but enough because with the leaves being so small in there, there's plenty of airflow through there, so it heats up really nice and evenly when you give it a slight dense pack, but just a little dense pack, not much. Next is a brand that I'm sure majority of you are known, or majority of you know. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words today. Haze Frozen Lakes, and I have it packed up in my HJ Harmony bowl. I actually packed it up really high, and this is just the perfect semi-dense brand. Most people used to overpack it, but when you think about it, when you overpack it and you put foil or heat management on it, you're essentially densing it down just a little bit. So this is the perfect semi-dense in my opinion, and I actually have it packed up just a little high, just because it can take the heat and it'll do better with more heat. Also, with the JJ Ceramics bowl, with the Predator, with this thing on there, it actually raises the foil up just a little bit, so that's why it's packed as high as it is. Hopefully that focuses. Next is a brand that I actually struggled with at first, surprisingly enough, because it's one of the easiest brands to get used to. Nocla. I have Nocla Raspberry Ice, or Ice Raspberry Mint, and yeah, as you can actually see, it's overpacked. Just because of the fact that to do this one, what you're going to do, you're actually going to put the foil right on the bowl, and when you put it on the bowl, of course, all that tobacco is actually going to go down just a little bit. It's going to dense pack it up. You poke all your holes, make sure you poke through the holes in the bottom of the Egyptian bowl, and then you actually take it and you shake it. You get all that tobacco evenly moved around. So that's actually right now super fluffy, but it's definitely going to dense down when you put foil on it. And when you do that, you start your 3 coals in their positions, and then wait till you hear the sizzling stop before you take a hit. Move the 3 coals, wait for the sizzling to stop, and then rotate them back into their original positions, and take a hit, and it's going to be super cloudy, super flavorful, and it works amazing. Next brand I have is Pure. This is Pure's Pineapple. It's a good mixer. I'm not that big of a fan of it by itself, but it's a fantastic mixer, and it's easy to pack. The only thing is, it's really juicy, so it's harder to come off your fingers, but it's pretty fluffy in there. You can see that there are a few gaps in there, and that's not going to hurt. I have it packed up fairly high. I'd probably push that down just a little bit more, but I was rushing a little bit. I have it fairly fluffy in there, but not super fluffy. It's definitely patted down just the smallest amount. And then, of course, you have Social Smoke, which is just like Pure. This is Social Smoke Pear Chill, by the way. And it's also just like Pure, it's patted down the slightest amount. And I really wish I would have had Famari, because that is the ultimate fluff pack brand. That's one that you don't even want to press down at all. Just keep it as fluffy as possible. So, now that I've gone over all these, I'm going to go into showing you how I actually pack the bowl from beginning to end, and it's actually going to be a plain semi-dense, which is how I like Trifecta Blonde tobacco. So, I'll get into that next.
Not make sense. Well, you said that we would still be friends, but I'll admit that I was glad it was over.
Alright guys, so another weird angle, but Trifecta perfect. Let's get into showing you how I like to start off all my bowls. So I have it mixed up really well in the bag already. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a simple fluff. You can do this with your fingers or with an oyster fork. Either one works. it's a little messy, don't worry about it. Trying to talk while I work, it's not happening. Grab the towel. Okay, so it's done. No, I'm kidding. But as you can see, super odd looking. Pretty sure it would smoke like garbage. But then all you're doing, you're just patting it down. Just a little bit. Trifecta is definitely one of the brands that is known for its ability to take heat. It's right up there with Haze and taking heat. And Nocla, really. Nocla's like the OG heat taker. So I'm mainly just spreading this out, getting it even all over. And the reason I wanted to use this glass bowl was so I could show you the actual sides. Okay, so whenever I'm done packing the bowl, I always clean off the edges, whether I'm using a heat management device or foil. But mainly, you can see, if it focuses in, you can see all the bubbles and air bubbles in there, where you can see that it's still fluffy on the inside and everything. It just looks kind of dense, but this is what I would call a semi-dense. I haven't patted it down too much. There was plenty of open spaces in there that I just filled in with the excess tobacco that was overpacked. And that's basically how I start off all my bowls. Now if I wanted to really dense this, I would just smash it down even more. If I didn't want it quite this dense, I would have taken out a little bit of tobacco in the very beginning and then just patted it down a little bit less. So now this brings you to the whole conundrum. Foil or heat management device. If you're using heat management device, what kind do you want to use? That's where it's kind of up to you. I actually have 3 heat management devices right here. Cloud Lotus. Got a little bit of ash on it actually. This is the Provost, the Apple on Top Provost, but this one's a little differently because this one actually works with foil. So I'll get into that in a second. And then the Ottoman Ignis. It's basically the Lotus's big brother. It's got the little grooves on the top of it, so or in the bottom of it, so the coals don't black out. Not that mine ever do in the Lotus anyways. And then, of course, you got your OG foil. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I foil this up. And, yeah. So, this is just 2 layers of regular duty foil. You can use heavy duty. And I don't know why, but I use shiny side out. So, I just fold it out. Shiny side on both sides. Not that I really think it matters at all. Is that a mirror? Nah, it's just foil. But super drum tight. I always run my thumb along the edge. And then you go into poking a shit ton of holes. Or not a shit ton of holes, it's up to you. My poker is over there and I don't feel like getting up, so I'm going to use an oyster fork, which I suck at. So, these holes are way too big, by the way, but this is going to be the funny part of the review. I actually had another funny part of the review that I was going to do, but I don't know if I should do. I have a shitty ceramic bowl that I was going to smash. Still thinking about doing it. In fact, this foil is kind of ticking me off, so I kind of want to get out some anger. But I've shown you how I do my hole poking in the past, so you get the idea. Normally, I don't use oyster forks. I suck at it. You can sharpen them and they work. But yeah, so once you have all your holes done, you can either just throw on your coals, or you can throw on the Apple on Top Provost system, and it actually works fantastic. So, that was my brand and bowl packing. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If not, I'm sorry. That's how I pack my bowls. Don't know what else to tell you. Definitely shout out to all these brands: Tangiers, I keep saying Morning Glory. Tangiers, Trifecta Tobacco, Kismet, Hookah, Nocla, Pure, Social Smoke, Haze. I mean, there's tons of other brands out there, but I don't have them on hand right now, so I couldn't pack them for you. But yeah. So now, if you've noticed, all these bowls are really good quality clay. Now, and one is glass. But for the past couple years now, China and a bunch of other places have been flooding the US market with knockoffs of bowls, and they're cheap Chinese ceramic. Now, I don't have a problem with ceramic bowls if they're done right, but the problem is when they're not done right, they have the tendency to develop hot spots, which burns the tobacco, and you'll never be able to, achieve a really good bowl. So this is, I don't even know if I should say it, but this is an RV bowl. This is the RV Alien bowl. They knocked off Hookah John's bowls, and yeah. So I'm going to go into another clip real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and load up, hey, I have plenty of bowls loaded up. I'm going to go ahead and throw on some coals to one of these bowls. I don't know what flavor I'm going to smoke yet, and show you what I think about these bowls. So, as you can see, I'm already getting fantastic clouds. I've only been smoking for 5 minutes. I'm using the Ottoman Ignis and 2 Hookah John titanium cubes. Lid is on, and I'm actually using the Alien with Morning Glory. I figured might as well use the Alien since I have this POS Alien knockoff bowl thing. It has little grooves in it, kind of like the OG Rook. So yeah, they definitely try to knock off a bunch of different brands at the same time. But yeah, I've only been smoking for 5 minutes, and this is going fantastic. As you can see, the clouds are fantastic, and I get a lot of comments about my clouds. It is about the bowl itself, the quality of material that it's made out of, and it's mainly about how you pack it and your heat management on it. So as you can see, I'll go ahead and do a side cloud so you can see how big the clouds are actually. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. This is how I pack my bowls, and I hope that this video helps you. But yeah, so that foil really ticked me off, and I have this bowl right here. It was actually given to me by Zach from Strictly Shisha. He honestly didn't really care for it, and he was hoping that maybe I could figure it out. And I've tried to smoke out of it. It just doesn't work. It burns pretty quick. So, I have this. This is another Hookah John product. No, I'm kidding. This is just another hammer that you can buy at the hardware store. This is a bowl that you can get online for like 10 bucks. Super cheap. Terrible material. And that's what happens. Honestly, if I would have dropped this from a really high height, it probably would have done the same thing. But yeah, it's terrible material. You can see the inside of it. Pretty thin, glassy-like stuff. It slips off grommets. Yeah, just don't like it. If you're gonna get a bowl, spend a little bit of extra money and get a good quality bowl. This is like 9 good quality bowls right here. So I hope this video was informational, and yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Sorry I've been so distant lately, but I got a lot of good stuff in store in the next couple weeks. I have a giveaway on my Instagram. You're gonna get a hookah hose that comes with the hookah, tobacco, like 2 kilos of it maybe, and 2 really good quality bowls. So I'm gonna get out of here, and I'll see y'all later.